WWE.com, at Facebook.com, WWE, and Twitter.com/WWE. And it's also being asked on a number of professional wrestling news websites such as ProWrestling.com and WrestleZone.com, who do you believe is going to be the next COO if Triple H is forced to resign at the hands of CM Punk in the outcome of the no disqualification match between CM Punk and Triple H, the first ever meeting between CM Punk and Triple H, and the first match of Triple H since WrestleMania 27 earlier this year when he lost to The Undertaker in that unbelievable WrestleMania match. Triple H has only competed once this year, and he's returning to the ring for the first time since that match at WrestleMania 27 to deal with a personal matter caused by CM Punk, all going back to when CM Punk did that phenomenal rant on Raw. One of the greatest conclusions to Raw was that CM Punk rant many months ago, and I think that really launched WWE back into the direction of possibly relaunching the TV 14A era. I really enjoyed that CM Punk rant from several months ago. It left people wondering what direction WWE was heading in, and I didn't even know that it was going to be the premiere of Triple H as the man in charge of WWE, leading him to firing Vince McMahon due to a few unprofessional decisions believed by the board to be made by Vince McMahon, and here we are. The CM Punk rant basically sending the entire company into an entirely different direction, and he definitely takes credit for that. You can let us know who you believe is going to be the next COO of WWE. If you want to contribute to the conversation, how you do that is Facebook.com, Jonathan Clark, and YouTube.com, Jonathan Clark 22. You can leave your comments in the bottom of our YouTube videos, or you can leave your comments in our Facebook page at Facebook.com, Jonathan Clark. You can also follow us on Twitter by using the search words HEW Entertainment Jonathan Clark 1, and tweet us who you believe is going to be the next COO. Some possible candidates have been listed by WWE.com. You can find the list by heading to WWE.com. It's one of their featured articles on their website. I have to give WWE.com a lot of credit. They consistently update their website from day to day with new information, new updates, and their Twitter and their Facebook accounts, both respectively, are always sending out updates. So if you're not following WWE on something like Twitter, you have no idea what you're missing. Head over to WWE's Twitter account at twitter.com, WWE, and Facebook.com, WWE, and join the conversation as they're asking you for your opinion on who you believe is going to replace Triple H as the COO of the company. I raised the question here on this radio program several weeks ago as to whether or not the listening audience out there listening to these audio commentaries from week to week in our radio form and on our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Jonathan Clark 22, where this radio program is heard each and every week, as to whether or not the listening audience believe that the CM Punk Triple H match may be happening a bit too soon. I think that it is. I really do think that this match is happening a bit too soon, because what do we have? About 3 months of promotion for this? We need about 6 before the match even happens. I think we need a more lengthier storyline. We need something more exciting happening than just Kevin Nash showing up for the first time in 8 years. We need something, to really hype up something like this. This is a match that could be happening at WrestleMania 28 if The Undertaker vs. Triple H Part 2 doesn't happen. CM Punk vs. Triple H is a terrific WrestleMania match to have happen, but WWE are calling Night of Champions the return of Triple H. So obviously they're going to be doing this match as a big thing and hyping it up to be something bigger than it probably will be. I'm expecting the no disqualification match to be something like the main event of the show. It would be a very inappropriate main event of the show given the fact no championship is on the line, and you would think at a pay-per-view called Night of Champions, a championship match would be the main event. But with that being the final angle done on the final Raw before Night of Champions, that gives me the assumption and leads me to believe that CM Punk vs. Triple H have the main event slot at Night of Champions. So obviously WWE are hyping this up to be something absolutely spectacular. I'm not expecting the match to live up to its hype, but I'm expecting both CM Punk and Triple H to contribute both equally to this match. Now, Triple H has a ton of experience over CM Punk. 5 years in WWE for CM Punk, and in those 5 years, he's done everything, not taking anything away from his career accomplishments. 2-time Money in the Bank winner. A select few have been able to do that. Edge is one of those guys. 2-time Money in the Bank winner, multi-time World champion, one-time WWE champion, former ECW champion, and a former Intercontinental champion. It seems like CM Punk has done it all. And to list off Triple H's championship accomplishments and career accolades, like winning the 2002 Royal Rumble, doing so many phenomenal things, like winning the King of the Ring back in 1997, winning the WWE Championship 12 or 13 times. I mean, he's done it all. So just to sit here and list off all of Triple H's career accomplishments would be an understatement and do him no justice. I think sitting here talking about Triple H does him no justice. He referred to CM Punk as the internet darling. I think that his assumption of CM Punk is pretty much correct, given the fact that he was talked about by a number of professional wrestling news websites when he was signed by WWE to be a part of the ECW, which launched back in 2006. Of course, CM Punk had a tremendous following from Ring of Honor, and who in Ring of Honor isn't talked about on the internet? That's my response to that. Daniel Bryan, everybody from Ring of Honor is a hot internet topic, and you can check those guys out at ROHWrestling.com for more information, upcoming events and photos and everything ROH. I think that, and DVD sales as well too. ROH has been a topic on the internet for years, so everyone associated with Ring of Honor, Jimmy Jacobs, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, where they all came from, some top TNA stars, anyone associated with Ring of Honor is going to be immediately talked about on the internet, no matter who you are. And when it was rumored that CM Punk was going to be showing up in WWE just as it is Colt Cabana right now, it was a hot topic. Everybody was talking about it. I know ProWrestling.com was flooded with news about CM Punk's entry into WWE, and he came in with so much hype, and he lived up to it. So referring to CM Punk as an internet darling is a correct assumption, I think. I think that we can refer to a lot of people as internet darlings, like Christopher Daniels, Daniel Bryan, who has his own YouTube series along with Zack Ryder over at YouTube.com on Daniel Bryan's official YouTube channel. It seems like a lot of people, especially independent stars, are internet darlings. So not only CM Punk can be thrown into that category, I think a number of wrestlers can be thrown into that category. Like I said, anyone associated with Ring of Honor immediately is talked about on the internet. For information on Ring of Honor, upcoming shows, and of course DVD sales, you can head over to ROHWrestling.com for an exemplification of what I'm talking about here, and definitely the internet will personify and put Ring of Honor into perspective for you. Watching some matches on television is doing it no justice. But I think that, this CM Punk Triple H storyline could go either way. I mean, it could lead to Vince McMahon returning as the chairman of the company, teasing us all that Triple H was going to be the acting COO for an extensive period of time. It could even lead to something as perverse as CM Punk becoming the COO for 2 or 3 months, and then Triple H returning as an active member of the roster, or possibly as the chairman of the company. That would be interesting to see CM Punk run the WWE and bring back the ice cream bars. At one point there, when I was trying to figure out what direction this storyline was potentially heading in, I thought it was a way of WWE promoting the fact that they were going to be bringing back the ice cream bars, which was rumored on ProWrestling.com. After it was rumored, a report was released saying that WWE had no plans at the present time to bring back the ice cream bars. So I thought something in my mind was telling me that WWE were trying to use this as a promotional tactic and a way of bringing back the ice cream bars, which were popular back in the 1980s and early 1990s. So, this storyline could go in either way. I mean, Stephanie McMahon could show up as the COO if Triple H is screwed out of his COO position. John Laurinaitis could take over as the Raw General Manager or the COO. Kevin Nash could be COO. I mean, there are a lot of potential candidates as to who could be the COO of the company. Another wrestler who isn't receiving a significant amount of TV time could become the COO for 2 or 3 months. But regardless of the outcome of this match, I think it's going to be worth paying for, although I don't believe it's going to be worth its expectation that it's been built up to. But there are a lot of candidates that WWE.com has listed, and if you have some candidates that we haven't mentioned here for this week's audio commentary, you can let us know who you believe could be the next COO at Facebook.com, Jonathan Clark, and YouTube.com, Jonathan Clark 22. There are many candidates who could fill the position. It could be a way of bringing back Vince McMahon for the first time since his public firing on Raw. And I found that kind of ironic too, how they just, let Vince McMahon go. He cries in the ring. Triple H tells him that he loves him and everything. They didn't even give Vince McMahon like a 3-hour send-off. I don't even know why. You think a man who was responsible for people like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan, much less everybody back in the 1980s and 1990s after purchasing the company from his father many years ago and becoming more than a ring announcer. I think that, he deserves a more detailed send-off than what he got. I think that, this is not it for Vince McMahon, and I think that we can say best fittingly that this is not the last we've seen of Vince McMahon. We're going to see him again in some type of role, if not the chairman, something like the Raw general manager, where he's demoted down to having to work for Triple H and being forced to work for Triple H. Maybe Vince will return as the anonymous Raw general manager. There's a lot of ways that this storyline could go, given the fact they haven't released who the Raw general manager is. There are a lot of ways that this storyline could go, and I have this to say to the radio show hosts, columnists, and journalists who believe their assumptions to be correct. Nobody knows in a storyline like this what could happen with so many potential outcomes. I mean, I just listed several of them, what I believe could be outcomes, and I bet you neither one of them are correct. They're going to throw a swerve into this and send this storyline into an entirely different direction. I mean, Stephanie McMahon, CM Punk, Kevin Nash, Vince McMahon are all obvious accusations and conclusions that we could immediately jump to, but nobody really knows who's going to replace Triple H. Triple H might not even lose his position as COO. This might be a way of this new faction rumored to be showing up on Raw, featuring Triple H, John Laurinaitis, Kevin Nash, and a number of other old famous wrestlers to come into the storyline. This could be a way of setting this whole thing up. I mean, Triple H might not even lose his current position. I mean, I read a report several months ago that he was happy with his position with the company,